Dr.JWolfenstein, and it is a pleasure to see you all yet again. Welcome to another fantastic episode of Tyranny of Dragons. And like always, before we begin, I just have a couple quick announcements. For those of you who are into all things D&D, because most of us are, let us be perfectly frank here, we want to check out a fantastic Kickstarter. Yes, it is Grim Hollow related, but no, it is not the Player's Guide. It is the Monster Grimoire. 400 dark fantasy monsters from the dangerous world of Itharis, designed for 5th edition.
It looked pretty good, actually. I took a glance. Yeah. As a monster connoisseur.
Yep. I have definitely supported at the $55 mark because that's all I really need. They have a ton of cool stuff of all kinds. For the 25, you're going to get a PDF download of the Grimoire. For the 55, you're going to get the PDF, the hardcover, and a map pack. 10 maps in total. For 110, these are just the pledge amounts. You'll get all the previous pledges, plus monster cards, plus a regular box of minis. For $250, you're going to get a large miniature box and a gigantic miniature box. And for the whopping $380, you get all the monster card sets, all the regular miniatures, all the miniature boxes of all 3 sizes, as well as a monster card binder. So yes, those of you who collected or collect Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic cards, there's now binders again, which is always a good thing. Can't have enough binders. And finally, for the for the whopping $480, the master tier, you're going to get the trinket collection. These 4 little fun glass bauble trinkets, which are fantastically pretty to look at. You also are going to get the special edition hardcover book. So, these are some of the minis that are coming in it. Definitely the Caprathorns look the most interesting. Those zombie trolls don't exactly look bad either. The Demon Oak and then the Kryptonian Behemoth, that is definitely my favorite. But they have plenty of add-ons from all of their available options already. The Player's Guide and the Campaign Guide add-ons. It's a fantastic prize and a fantastic buy. So they do have stretch goals. We are currently at the $500,000 stretch goal, so there will be monster stickers. Huzzah! And I highly recommend it because, as you all know, I am going to be running Grim Hollow at some point. There may or may not be schedule changes in the near future. How far in the future still remains to be seen. But any schedule changes, I will post an update video letting you know about those schedule changes in advance. And so that way everyone on both Twitch and on YouTube will know exactly what's going on. And we just lost a Mason. Why did we just lose a Mason?
Being with the people.
He has returned.
The Mason
we have
has
regained
returned.
a Mason.
Discord crashed.
Yes. And you are right, Mason. Perfect. I believe this is episode 28 of Tyranny of Dragons.
We're cruising.
No, we are not.
Oh.
Not at all.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's just like my campaign. You guys are almost nowhere.
Yep, we are
Awesome.
exactly. No, but it's okay. We're having fun, and that's all that matters. We're in Chapter 4 of Horde of the Dragon Queen, for those of you who would like to follow along. Thankfully, though, through Horde of the Dragon Queen, we are about halfway there, because Horde of the Dragon Queen only has 8 chapters. So, yeah. It seems like some of the later chapters are pretty beefy.
And yes, I can confirm it is episode 28.
Can confirm. Can confirm.
Can confirm.
Uh, for those of you who get the reference, you're amazing people. For those of you who don't, well, you know.
We feel sorry for you.
I mean, you know, people make bad choices all the time. Doesn't mean they're bad people. However, there are 17 total chapters in Tyranny of Dragons as a completed campaign. Also, my natural light is the window, so you'll be having that. And here's all my stuff. Perfect. I have all that pulled up. So, when last we left our party, they had just finished up their stay in the rather okay town of Daggerford and had been traveling for a few days. Now, upon their travels, they had started to set out and were now nearing Waterdeep, their final, well, they think their final destination. They're certainly planned to go at least as far as Waterdeep with Acrony and his two workers. So, the party being our fantastic group of adventurers, the Dragon Turtle Fear, and then our other fantastic crew who are now here, and I will introduce them as they are appearing on my screen. So to my immediate left is, of course, my brother David playing Mr. Rattlegast, our resident orc sneaky man.
Yes. Spry as a spring tree.
Don't mind the lion picture on Roll20. He just hasn't changed the photos yet.
I'm just bad at this.
Yep, he's bad at it. It's okay. Then immediately under David is Mr. Masson playing Serial, our wood elf rune knight.
Let's etch the flames into our enemies' corpses.
Wow, we have two pyros in the group because immediately next to him and directly under me is Mr. Matt playing our Earth Genasi wildfire druid.
You know, I slept like a log last night, and I woke up in the fireplace.
Were you looking pretty ashen when you looked in the mirror?
Both of you stop!
Oh my god.
My reflection in the mirror almost tore me to cinders.
What's wrong, Brent? Are you going to give us the cold colder?
That one didn't quite work.
I know. I'm
I
trying to
liked
break us
it.
out of it. But
There's
Anyway.
missing the mark, and there's hitting the guy next to you. I mean,
At least I'm still hitting.
At least I hit something.
Yeah,
Oh my
hits
God.
are hits, friendly fire or not.
Look,
That's-
I'm sorry about all the fire puns. I just didn't mean to poke you.
Anyway, immediately to my right is Mr. Eric playing Jay, our resident healer birdman, according to some of the party.
Yeah. Hi.
You want to know the funny part on that?
No.
I just realized your camera is flipped. So when you said left, you pointed to Eric. When you said right, you pointed to David.
My camera is flipped, really? Or did I just say it wrong?
I think you might have said it wrong, because to the left of you is the left of your image, which would be on your right. Because right now you're pointing at Eric.
This is Eric?
Yeah, it's Eric.
For maybe you, it might just be flipped because of
Camera
This one might
shenanigans.
just might be flipping it.
For me, I'm right below David.
And for me, you're to the right of Brent.
Okay, I'm going to do directions based on my setting in this camera.
Yes, because that's what the stream sees.
Yes, because that is exactly what the stream sees.
Since
At least it should be. Now you mess it all the way up, Mason. Congratulations. But I'm okay
there
with
we
it.
go.
But anyway.
Ooh!
And last, but certainly not least, is... Are you quite done, Mason?
Yep.
Are you quite done, really? Because you're about to interrupt the beautiful Callie Cat playing her amazing Celine the Stargazer.
it's all right. I don't mind being interrupted. We're all friends here. The whole world is all friends here.
Mr. Whitehill playing Thierhay, our Tortle Death Cleric, could not be here today, but he
Aw.
sends his bests.
Oh, we're missing the beautiful blushing bride.
You know what? As long as I get 4 of you, I'm actually pretty surprised. So, you know, I would love all 6 of you to be here, but as long as I get 4 of you, I'm content.
That's reasonable.
So with at least 5 of us, you
Actual
must be pretty
expectations
happy.
are good.
He's ecstatic. Look at his eyes.
Got it. So I should just leave
You
now
can tell
before it gets any
he's in a
worse.
good mood because his eyebrows are slightly less furrowed than usual.
Indeed.
What do you mean furrow? Right. Anyway, rocks fall, you all die. Campaign over.
Okay,
Cool,
going
Cool,
back
I
to
get to
bed
roll
now.
a new character.
Yeah,
Woo!
God help
Let's
me.
get new
Yeah.
characters, guys.
I get to pull out
I'll
the
be a bard.
Edgelord that I was gonna say for Grim Hollow.
Actually,
Eric,
in
are
all
you ready to make the
seriousness,
Bard Brothers?
if it weren't for my plan
Oh,
to
yeah.
go through every goddamn D&D module, I would probably just run this next.
Yeah, that's the one I'd have the hardest time getting into.
Well,
I
you
gotta
know
admit
what? That's your hang,
it is my hang up.
and everyone's entitled to be wrong.
I'm
But anyway.
100% right.
You are not.
Great
not
system
at
though,
all.
guys. Great system. I will justify it that way.
But it's so
Anyway.
RP based. I thought you would love Vampire.
It's the subject matter.
Yeah, she has issues with vampires, and they're her
I'm
issues.
just not into that.
Anyway, moving on before it turns ugly. But anyway,
There's something
I'm
I'm
sitting
not
right here,
into.
it's
I
already
just
done that.
realized.
yeah,
I'm
actually
surprised
we're
no one-
all kind of surprised here, Cal.
The scene from Puss in Boots. There's something I'm not into. There's a thing I don't like. Who am I?
Who am I?
Anyway,
Sorry.
So, you guys have been traveling on the road. You guys picked up 2 new travelers, Asbara Joss, the Red Priest of Thay. Okay, that's right. Yes.
Mhm.
And
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
I just have to remember the actual title of the
Who's
location.
going along with the Dragon Cult, right?
That is
Yes, sir.
correct. He has joined the Dragon Cultists on their caravan. Yep, Red Wizard of Thay, Asbara Joss. He fucking looks scary as shit. His character art is a little terrifying, not gonna
A
lie.
little creepy. A little
Yeah.
bit.
And then, of course, you guys got a brand new companion to the group, although she is technically under the employ of Oyen, Rattlegast's former employer, who dumped him for some possibly traveling performers.
You really just gotta use those extreme words, huh? Dumped. Not gently let go. No, dumped.
Nope, fucking
Are you trying to start a
fired.
rivalry
Fucking
between
let go.
Rattlegast and Oyen, mister?
That
could've
actually
no.
raises the question, though.
You could have said
What-
discharged.
We haven't heard anything about that group since Rattlegast had some fun with a mage of
I have
theirs.
no clue what that is.
I know he
I
left.
don't either.
So what happened to the others?
So,
I think they're still with Oyen, aren't they?
yes, the others are still with Oyen. However, the old man
Radagast didn't kill them
stayed
all?
in Daggerford.
Yep, he gone.
Yeah, the wizard stayed behind, but the rest of the group continued on. But you also got another member to the group, Jamna Gleams Silver.
The gnome.
Yep, she is a gnome, and she has kind of indicated to the party that she is keeping an eye on the cultists and making herself not exactly a friend to them. As on the road, she has been keeping you guys alive in poor Celine's porridge one rainy morning. She revealed a sliver of bone that was implanted into your porridge in order to try and kill you slowly from the inside, pointing at the obvious suspects being the cultists, and warning you to be on the lookout. Of course, she talked to you later that evening and told you that she also works for a group of people that are all on the same side, and that all believe the dragon cult is a problem and has to be stopped. She also asked you what was in the wagons, to which you told her, and she seemed to be very relieved at doing so. I think Rattlegast, you were the only one who had any kind of suspicions about her not being quite as forthcoming as the rest of you are. Then the next day, of course, you guys tried to mess with the cage, or rather the wagon, of the cult.
That was fun.
Only to discover that Asbara Joss is not called a red wizard for no reason. So, you guys have been traveling for a couple days now since that last incident. You guys are bedding down for the evening on the second day or so. The road has been fairly uneventful. The weather has been getting slowly colder as you get a little more north, but you were pretty balmy because you were in the south where Baldur's Gate lies. And it's pretty warm down there, all things considered. The mountains do see snow, but the mountains always see snow. So it's been, climbing up to it's been less Arizona and more California, Central California. So, as you guys bed down for the evening, what do you do?
Let me think. So we talked to her, and she basically said, yeah, let's keep an eye on him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which we now know one another. I mean, that's Celine's conclusion.
Yes.
If they wanted us dead, that is... We went basically undercover this whole time. Which I will say as much in character. So they want to kill us. She says, pointing over at the caravan,
To which
the black dragons.
To which Thier kind of nods his head and then glances over at them. At least some of them do.
So should we confront them?
Well, I think our goals haven't changed. We have yet to figure out where exactly they're going.
All things in good time. I'm sure we'll eventually cross paths. Or swords.
There's also no direct evidence that it was them.
It could have been the girl.
Could it?
Playing the red herring. Planting a life-threatening trap and then saving us from it. Could be a ploy to earn our trust.
Concerning if true, but you're not wrong.
She seems mostly trustworthy, but there's something I can't quite pick up on.
Oh?
I'm not sure. Maybe some half-truths, or maybe something she's trying to hide.
So don't close your camera, Mason. Sorry.
Well, I guess we could keep watching them, but I'm not a very good cook.
Well, we could,
Because we can't trust whatever we eat.
we could, perhaps find one isolated and ask them some questions.
I mean, I could interrogate them. Celine says, putting her hands on her hips.
He just kind of Theo just kind of pats your shoulder. I don't think that wise.
But, I mean, I'm really scary. Right.
Terrifying, Celine, terrifying. But maybe we should save that for another task.
Oh, well. Well, I'm gonna have Saloon hang out with them for a while. They keep scaring him away, but maybe this, it's been a while. Maybe they kind of forgot about him.
I
There's
don't.
no such thing as bad information. Only more.
In the meantime, I'd actually like to approach Jay and see if he knows anything about transferring poisons to something.
Okay, so you approach Jay. Jay's sitting with you.
Yeah.
Well,
I've just been kind of following this
approaching
conversation.
conversation,
Like,
you
you
know what I
kind
mean,
of
you-
see the birdmass, like, kind of moving back and forth between Celine and Rattlegast as the intimidation conversation goes on.
Yeah.
So, Jay, I have to ask, would you be able to move the poison as I pull out the short sword I put onto my belt now? Would you be able to move the poison from this onto something else for me?
Hey, DM, is that even possible?
To do what exactly?
Remove a
Transfer
poison,
the poison from one weapon to another?
like extract poison off of a weapon and put it on and coat it onto something else.
Yes, it is possible. There's two problems with that. One, the poison in this particular weapon comes from the hilt of the blade and seems to run along a curved groove that's specifically designed to distribute the poison across the blade. And seems to kind of be almost like kind of hold it there in place. So yes, it is possible to code another weapon in that, but this weapon seems to be specifically designed with poison intent in mind. But still possible. The other problem that you have at the moment is that
It might
you're
only
not.
last for like an hour.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as reliable as this poison is on this blade.
Right, so it continually keeps the poison, okay.
It definitely seems to have a far more voluminous source. You imagine that most of that hilt is hollow, Jay, as you look over the weapon. You imagine that most of that hilt is hollow and is actually full of poison.
I didn't form Zero. I could transfer the poison, but it wouldn't be as quite as effective on a different weapon. As well as it wouldn't last for very long. It would have to be much closer to the intended use. I may, with your smithing skills, be able to refill it with a new toxin once it runs out as well. And I'd hand him the weapon back.
It'd go right back on my belt and I would nod and look, and I'd grab the great sword off my back and study it.
Go ahead and roll a. You have Smith's Tools proficiency, yes?
Yes.
Roll a Smith's Tools intelligence, please.
Okay. Okay, man. I clicked it. There it goes.
So, you could, with a forge in proper time, you could carve a similar groove down your blade. With just time and the right tools and a forge. You could cause a similar curve along, or rivulet along your blade in order to achieve a similar effect. Though the intricacies in the hilt might be a little harder to replicate, but it would take time. Like dedicated time to sit and do this.
Okay, well, I'm hoping to get that forge in the next area we stop at anyway.
Hmm.
I mean, I've had the thought of one of the biggest issues we had is having someone be able to lift it and place it in. I can turn giant.
Mm-hmm.
That would circumvent a lot of that problem.
You're not wrong.
Big boy elf.
That is very true. The big elf.
Insert Mario. Insert Mario mushroom noise here. Boop, boop, boop.
But yes, theoretically, yeah, you could make that happen. Something to think about at the very least.
By the way, Callie, I don't know if you're drinking tonight, but
I think she stepped away, but yes, she
oh
is
dang.
drinking.
Oh, okay. Same.
Anyway, but so as you guys settle down for the evening, if no one wants to do anything super crazy,
Do you want to start working on your groove, Mason?
well, he doesn't have the forge working in the back of his wagon just yet.
I
Ah.
want to do something super crazy.
What are you doing, Rattlegast?
I'm gonna go sneak off and watch the Dragon Cult caravan.
Okay, what are you hoping to see?
So I want to look at the way that they have their guard set up.
Okay.
See if they have like a static guard or if they're patrolling. And if they're patrolling, I want to try and memorize the patterns and see like when certain guards are going to be in certain places and look for like gaps in line of sight and stuff like that.
You're basically trying to memorize their patterns and then see if there's a time where you can get one of them by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough. Uh, all right. You can spend that time looking for those materials, Mason. Although there's not a lot of metal on the road that you found. Most of the scrap metal is actually claimed and is used for basically hodgepodge repairs.
On the note of Serial looking for scrap metal,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't used any of my medkit stuff, so I don't really need to. I was just looking for any like medical herbs maybe on the road.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Can I roll a medicine check?
No, not for this
That's fair.
particular check.
That's fair. Not bad.
Yes, you can. You can roll an investigation check as well, there, Mister Matt.
Investigation? Okay.
Yeah, poison or medical for in my case. I was just
So
ugh.
Yeah, investigation's not my strong suit.
Yeah, we have the same roll. We have the same modifier, Matt.
Yeah, I know, but I was hoping nature.
Wolfenite, you do not happen to find anything of the sort.
Okay.
Eric,
Yeah.
you do find some plants that you could use in medicines or poultices. They would need to be refined a little bit, obviously, and have your special touch, but they would work.
Okay. Just something to add to the medkit, just in case. Salves, what have you.
Yep, indeed. And
Give me something to do while we're like waiting around on the caravan, basically.
oh yeah, exactly. Celine,
Yep.
What is it you would like to do?
So, first off, the fortune people of the day is Rattlegast, Celine, and Saloon.
Okay.
Then I would like Saloon to basically eavesdrop. What's his name? Hold on, I have his name in my notes. Azabara Joss. So the Red Man.
Mm-hmm.
Saloon is just gonna try to eavesdrop on him throughout the day, and since we share information telepathically, I'm hoping that I can pick something up without Celine actually being there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my plan. And for Celine, what she is going to do in her downtime is mainly just kind of keep an eye on the caravan, but she's mostly going to use her friendliness and stuff to find us a cook that she can watch.
Okay.
Yeah, since none of us cook, I don't think.
That is correct. None of you have cooking utensils as tool proficiencies, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't think any of us do.
Actually, let me pull up my DM screen here.
What's wrong with mushrooms on a stick? Or fish on a stick? Or
That's
meat
not
on a stick? Everything's
That's
good on
not
a stick.
pancakes. I'm just saying.
that's not cooking. That's just stabbing.
Pancakes on a
Yes,
stick.
You use the
Pancakes on a
fire
stick.
to cook it
I mean,
on a
Also,
stick.
Callie,
Yeah.
are you partaking tonight?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Got
and
by.
I mean, let's be honest here. Fuck, I can't remember. All that surgery really is stabbing people until they're healthy. So what's wrong with stabbing?
And cutting them.
You see, you stab and you cut until they're healthy.
Right, so...
I mean, fuck
Anyway.
you for being right.
I mean, this year from a size A to a C, they're improving a lot of things.
Anyway,
But anyway,
moving
jokes
on.
aside.
But... so you guys, go ahead and roll me a you want Saloon to be, I assume, unobserved as much as possible.
As best as I can, yeah. I mean, he might just be an annoying hummingbird sometimes.
Yep.
But
Excuse you, how dare you slander the name of royalty?
I know, somewhere in the meta, Saloon is just like, I heard an insult.
I mean, you know.
Somewhere on the other side of the fourth wall.
So what would you? So do you want me to roll like a stealth and perception?
Yes, roll stealth followed by a perception check.
Okay, he has advantage on both of these, so I'm gonna roll because because of the favor thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the stealth check, and there's the perception check, which he does have proficiency in both of these.
Got it.
Weirdly. Saloon, I don't imagine stealth, but I think it's just because he's a small hummingbird.
I mean, you know. So, as your hummingbird stealths around the camp as best it can, best he can.
Oh, and just for added flavor, Celine made him like a little assassin's outfit.
Of course she did.
So he's extra sneaky, at least according to Celine.
Of course she did.
So he's got like this cool like cloak and dagger look that looks oddly similar to what Rattlegas is wearing.
I legitimately just imagined the assassin turkey in the Assassin's Creed games for the Easter egg.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Anyway, so as your hummingbird goes about the dragon cultists' camp,
Yeah.
And he does eventually find his target. He is talking to the head of the caravan of this particular group. And mostly he seems to be having a conversation about about where he comes from, his homelands, and why he's not there anymore.
Okay.
Though it's always in very hushed tones, never quite, never quite very loud. And Saloon does have to get a little too close. And on one pass by, because Saloon doesn't have a good place to sit and actually listen
Mhm.
without being observed by somebody or something. On one particular pass by, he notices when the Red Wizard actually turns and looks at him. And this look is definitely a more knowing look. It's very clear that Asbara knows that Saloon is not what he appears to be.
Yeah.
And is
I mean,
more,
he's a hummingbird dressed as an assassin, so.
right. So he is a slight dead giveaway.
Yep. So that's, yeah, cuteness factor.
Well, most definitely. But after that, Saloon is careful not to come directly back to you, and flies off into the woods for a long while. And it's about a solid hour to 2 hours before you see him again. And he eventually makes his way back to you, although he is trying to be more stealthy coming back than he was leaving, as he finally rejoins you and begins to flutter in your ear about everything he overheard. Most of it innocuous nonsense. One piece of information that is useful is there was a comment about, I can't wait to meet one of your leaders. They are a rarity in the world, even in my lands. So from
That one I could probably piece together, actually.
Mhm.
Just because we're dealing with a black dragon related cult.
Well, dragon-related cult.
Or dragon related, yeah.
But the one thing that you can gather, Celine, go ahead and roll me a wisdom check, actually.
Wisdom?
Mhm.
All right. I think I can get advantage on this with my my spell. Let me double check it just to be sure. Character sheet, spells. Oh, it's just any 3 rolls. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. Then yeah, wisdom it is. Core. 14.
You can actually piece together that their leader, Resmir, is not here. So there was some thought, especially by your turtle friend, that Resmir might be in the caravan.
Yeah.
The way that Asbara is talking, it seems like he hasn't met any of Resmir or any of the other half dragons that you know are with the cult, and that they're not here. And that
All right.
while the dragon cultists are definitely led by this particular head, he's not really in charge of much of anything.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Not a lot of useful information there, but we'll still reward Saloon anyway because Saloon.
yeah.
I will share this information with the party when I get a moment. Probably Rattlegas because he's most likely the nearest one,
Mhm.
and just be like, So Saloon is super sneaky.
Wait, am I in the woods right now?
This is before you've gone into the woods.
Okay.
Technically, I mean, I'm not trying to play DM. Me and Saloon have a telepathic bond. I would actually know all this pretty early.
That is true. You didn't have to wait for Saloon
Yeah, I
to
don't
come
have to
back.
wait for him to come back. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is before you've headed out, though, David.
Okay.
And I can actually perceive through his senses. So, all right. Anyway, yeah. So Saloon is super sneaky. Is the first thing she says in her, coming up to you.
Yes, I've noticed. Quite the sneaky bird.
Notice the outfit, and of course the full-on similarities to your own is
Utterly dashing.
I know, right? But he overheard a thing. I had him follow Josh, and he said Josh's outfit really sucks. But
Agreed.
he also said that they haven't met any half dragons, that they'd like to meet their leaders.
So they haven't got any leaders in this group then?
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember Resmir being a half dragon of some kind, like a representative. But apparently, yeah, the Red Man hasn't quite gotten in with these folks yet. That means he's technically alone. Celine says with like a kind of odd smile, and you kind of see the little bit of star flecks in her eyes. Technically,
Alone.
anyway.
Yes. Though still many members of the cult there. It
True.
would not be an easy task to take them completely.
Fair. But Saloon is really sneaky. She says lifting up the hummingbird is like
Very
total
sneaky.
justification. He could help.
Yes. I think he should continue to help. That was quite useful information.
You see her put Saloon to her mouth. She whispers something, and then Saloon just kind of waits on your shoulder with just a mere acknowledgement of your existence.
Is he to help me out tonight then?
He said he would do it because he likes you. We got to call Jay Bird brained. She nods. Apparently, he knew it was an insult. He just really thought it was awesome.
Well, I'm honored for the assistance.
Yep, he's got you. And besides, you guys look enough alike that he can be a decoy. Pointing to the
Almost like
outfit.
twins.
Exactly. Think about it. Nobody would even know.
The mischief we could get into.
And she gives a nod and then just kind of goes back to scribbling in her books and talking up, whatever cooks she can. We need to watch her meals from now on. So.
Oh jeez. Okay. I'm gonna go do my sneaky thing.
Good. And give me 1 second. There's one thing that
Yes.
she might be able to do.
And I am going to say Saloon is giving wherever he can the help action for Rattle Gas.
Got it.
If it doesn't make sense, then yeah, I totally get it. Because it's Saloon.
You don't find any particularly talented cooks among the rest of the caravan.
Got it.
You do see a lot of different, people, but no particularly good cooks or cooks that would be willing to teach you anything or would teach you anything that you don't already know basic travel cooking.
Yeah.
You know, it's food, it'll do what needs to be done. That's about it.
All right. Celine is now going to take it on herself with that information to be the best cook she can for the party.
Fair enough.
And I'm going to hit up everybody for a pair of cook's utensils. I have 5 GP on me.
Fair enough.
Out of curiosity, would I be able to make cook's utensils for her?
Yes, you could. It's just using your smith's tools to make spoons, cutlery, etc.
And she could fill in the rest with like the spices and other.
Well,
Yeah.
there we go. We have a plan of action.
Yes.
Excellent.
A plan
We're
of
gonna
action
make
indeed.
saloon-sized.
Anyway, so Rattlegas, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
User.
28. You are so fucking sneaky, like no one's ever seen you.
I disappear.
Yep. You head into the foliage in order to kind of get a little closer to the dragon cultist caravan. And as you do, go ahead and roll a perception check.
You could re-roll that with fortune if you want. Just reminding.
That is correct.
I think I will. That's pretty low.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have reliable talent just yet.
Oof. It's better than before, but not by
Yeah.
much.
You can see that this group, they do have several members on watch, but unfortunately the way they've positioned their wagons and the fact that it's almost a little like a ring does hinder you from seeing the other sides or a lot. What you can see is that there are stationary guards. You can see about one facing outward for every wagon. Then you can also see 2, or at least you sit and watch for a while as you see 2 patrolling guards going. Basically, they make a circuit and then meet each other at both halves of the circle. And Celine, you were going to say?
Oh, nothing. Please go ahead.
Okay. You can only see 2 patrolling guards outside of this the ring of wagons. You cannot see anything inside, not really. Other than that's where their fires are, and you do see that there is one big fire. Excuse
The
me.
rotating guards,
Mm-hmm.
are they at like a consistent schedule?
They seem pretty consistent.
And after they've met, is there a point where they're like on opposite ends of the circle?
Yes,
Were there-
Yes, there is, but there's never a point where they're not observed by one of the guards facing out.
So there's more than 2 entrances to the circle.
Yes.
Okay.
But there. So let me draw on the map a bit. I'll be drawing over in the ocean. Draw a shape. Alt to change it to a circle. So if this is the ring of cards, every green dot would be, every green little square would be a cart, roughly. You know, just roughly different sizes, just to kind of give you a visual. There are gaps between all the cards, and then there's a guard. I will draw
Between each of them.
Yeah, there's a guard between each. and then the two patrollers are making a another circle pattern. And so there's never a point where they're not being observed by someone.
What about even for like a second?
The only time that you think that you could probably get away with it is as they're passing directly in front of carts.
Okay.
Because there are only guards between the carts, not in, and they're like directly between. Almost kind of like bouncers at a club, like can't get in.
Yeah. I'm going to spend a little bit of time watching each of the guards in between the carts and see if I can find one that like consistently isn't paying attention or falls asleep or anything like that.
Roll either an investigation or an insight check, your choice.
Investigation. Shit, I suck at this. Okay, I'm going to re-roll that.
Okay, that's 2. So with a nat 20, you find out several things. The first of which being none of these guys are actual professional guardsmen. None of them. Not a one. That is very useful. Because a professional guardsman has a certain standard that he maintains. You're used to sneaking and dealing with professional level guardsmen. The fact that they aren't allows you to bring down their level a bit. The other thing of interest that you note is that the gentlemen who are guarding, there are priorities that seem to be given here. You're not sure what's in the wagons, but it's clear that the cultists do. Because as you're observing, you watch as the ones who are guarding certain wagons in the group, the two on either side of the wagon actually are leaning against it. And leaning against it in order to either A, make sure it doesn't move anywhere, or B, kind of keep a better eye on it. So clearly, these wagons are the more important or vulnerable.
Yeah.
Valuable, excuse me. And there's about 3 of them. So about.
Can I memorize?
Yeah, you can memorize where they're placed.
Okay.
There's one to the north, one to the west, and one to the east of the circle.
Is there like anything about the cart that I could remember, so that like when they leave on the road?
So one of the carts that you see has remnants of severe damage that was done to its not really damage, but it was one of the ones that Wolfenite targeted.
Okay.
With his spell work. You do also notice that most of these guys seem to be either really old or kind of green or, a little bit rough customers. But they're all pretty commoner. They're not, there's no hardened killers here. There's no hardened veterans here. They're pretty lackluster as far as forces go. You imagine that the assassin you killed the other night was their big ace in the hole. And with him gone, you imagine he might have been in charge at some point. Or either that or, actually someone of note or value. But with him gone, it seems that these guys are just kind of meh.
So with that info, around one of the carts that's less important, could I want to try and time it to where he's at the middle of a cart. I want to distract the guard in front of him by throwing like a rock or a pebble into the circle of wagons basically towards the center, but close to where
I gotcha.
he's at. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get the timing down pretty easily. If you would like to toss this rock in this particular way, go ahead and roll me a dexterity check. You're not proficient with rocks, so just your dexterity check for me.
Just straight dex.
Yep. You have one last reroll you can try if you would like to.
I might need that though.
Hold on one sec. You said you wanted to throw a rock, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have a hummingbird about the size of a rock.
Oh, that is so true.
I hate to use that, but like
I mean,
Saloon in character would be like, let me do something. Let me do something. Let me do something.
I feel like I already threw the rock.
It's up to you.
I wanna stay true to my actions. So I'm gonna go with not re-rolling it, but I'm not like I'm just throwing the rock. That's all I'm doing, and
Yep.
I'm not re-rolling. I'm going with that roll.
Yep. So you throw the rock. It doesn't make it into the ring of carts. It makes it a little bit in front of a wagon, and it's just a wagon as there's a guard, one of the patrollers directly in front of the wagon. So you're pretty sure that because you can't see over the wagon, that he can't either. And then there's a guard to either side, but the wagons do have some space. It's not much, but there's some.
Okay. So
it clicked off the side of one of the wagons, so he turned and looked.
The guy in between, or the guy outside?
Guy patrolling.
Okay. I'm gonna roll with it, and I'm gonna try and approach him silently and wrap my web garrote around his neck.
Alrighty, go ahead and it is a sneak attack because he doesn't hear you coming. So go ahead and make an attack roll with it.
Okay, and I'm trying to make this non-lethal.
Okay, so you're just trying to choke him and not actually cut his head off.
The main thing is I'm trying to make it so he cannot make any noise. That's like the number one goal.
Got it.
Did Saloon use the help action in a funny way?
How?
Mostly him pressing his whole body against this guy's face.
Sure, I'll allow it.
Okay.
I just think that's hilarious.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And
just
you want just an attack?
It's just this hummingbird like pressing itself as much as it can.
Alrighty. So it definitely hits. And you're using your bonus action to grapple him, obviously.
Yep.
So he's going to have a hell of a time escaping. So let me pull out these dice in particular. These cultists do not have great stats as far as stats go. Let me pull up one of them just cause. There we go. And then, let's see. So to escape a grapple check would be dex for these guys because they don't have very much strength. So, and I will give him disadvantage because he has a hummingbird in his face.
I also have a thing that may apply, but maybe wouldn't apply because of...
What is it?
My class thing.
Which class thing?
The one where I sneak up on people.
If you consider it a surprise round.
So, technically
it's non-lethal though, so...
Right, so technically you were stealth, so you had advantage on the attack. So yes, it did hit. Yes, you're trying to be non-lethal about it. So the question is do you want him unconscious or do you want him grappled so you can pull him away?
No, I want him unconscious.
Okay, good. Roll damage.
Use.
Which is an automatic crit. Yeah, he's fucking out.
Sick. Yep. I tried to catch him silently and drag him away.
You see Saloon like fly back for a sec and give him a good thwack on the forehead as well while he's out. That just gives you an approving nod, like he did all the work.
Yep. Of course, he did.
All right, so you drag him off into the foliage.
Yep. And I am. So I'm gonna drag him out into the woods, sort of towards our cart, and then I guess. Wait, do I have rope?
You do, I think.
I'm gonna bind. Yeah, I think I have. Hang on. Hempen rope. So I'm gonna bind his hands and feet, and then I'm gonna say to Saloon, Saloon, could you please watch this man for just a little while?
Saloon gives you a very, very almost mocking bow because you're giving him orders, even though you're asking him very politely.
If you would be so kind, good sir. What a humble request of your vassal.
He takes the patronizing very well, and then just you see him stare with such intensity at this guy, and then you see him fly back and hit him again just for fun.
Okay. I am gonna go to the carriage.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a case of you've come this far, now what?
No, I know what I want to do. I just how much do I understand about Saloon and Celine's bond?
Not a lot.
Okay.
You know that he's her familiar.
Yep.
You know that they can talk to each other.
Yep.
And you know that he seems to have Celine's best interests at heart. Though he has a funny way of determining her best interests. Or what he thinks should be her best interests.
So, I'm gonna... is everybody kind of together-ish?
Yeah, for the most part.
I'm just gonna approach the group and just say, everyone, I've found someone that might be somewhat willing to answer some questions for us about the Dragon Court. Would you all like to accompany me?
With pleasure. I grab, like...
Go.
As long as I don't die, I'll be okay with that.
No,
What, Matt? You are really quiet.
it'll be quite safe.
Am I quiet?
Yeah, a little bit.
You're a little bit.
Celine, of course, will tag along. If she's with the group. If she's not with the group, it'll just be Celine.
If Rattlegas sees you kind of joining in, he would put a hand on your shoulder. Celine, I think, I don't think that the way we are going to ask questions is necessarily befitting your company.
But I'm really scary.
I think
Celine, if I may, maybe we should let them go and speak to this gentleman, and you can help. You can stay here, and you and I can work on some cutleries for you, so you can cook for us all.
I think that to be an excellent usage of your talents, Celine.
Well, I'll make sure I cook something awesome. All right. Just take care of Saloon, because he gets
Most
lonely when
definitely.
he doesn't have cute outfits for,
Oh,
Is she
he
kinda
is very preoccupied.
All
Very
right, well,
helpful.
yeah, she just gives a nod. It's one of those. She's slightly suspicious, but the offer of hanging out with God damn it, Cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah, hanging out with Cereal kind of actually appeals to her a little bit since they haven't really had a moment.
Haven't had a moment since the little hummingbird syrup container.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that was the last moment we had to hang out. So we'll treat that as a roleplay moment. Um, but yeah, so she kind of grabs cereal and talks about how she'd love the spoons, to depict different things. She's like, "Oh, can this spork be like spider legs, like in that story I did?"
That's a lovely idea. We'll see what I can do as I'm gathering the bits of scrap metal I've kept in the carriage.
And I'll cook something awesome. It'll be so amazing, and everybody will have a good time, and then we don't have to eat food that might kill us.
That's a plus.
Yeah,
Always
because
a
bones
plus.
and pancakes doesn't make sense.
I mean, you're not wrong.
The immediate
Oh.
look over of God damn it, Fred.
Oh my gosh. So I assume I'm leading JWolfenstein and Thierhay out to the
Oh yeah,
The
most definitely Thierhay is coming along.
yeah. As we're walking out there, I would look over to Thierhay and just say, "No, please don't kill him. Hurting is one thing, but he's not to be just another toy of yours."
I make only the promise that I will kill him after we get information.
As long as it's after. And then I lead the four of us out to
Fair enough.
our willing subject.
Unwilling subject.
No, willing. He'll be willing.
Willie?
Yeah.
I mean,
At some
everyone's
point,
willing with enough
he'll be
paving
willing.
At some point, after hours of torture, he'll be fully cooperative.
I mean, when you
Let's be fair,
answer a
this is Matt's
question
literal
honestly,
job.
that's called willing.
I mean, fair enough, regardless of the
All
duress
the
in which...
the pretext to that irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Fair enough. So,
On the way there, I need to ask Wolfenite a question.
Oh, okay.
You can produce fire, correct?
Yes.
Can you produce a continual flame?
One sec. I actually don't think so. like I'm gonna. How do you describe continual? Like just constantly casting flames?
No, more
spell?
like, could you make a fire? Could I heat up a piece of metal in it?
No. No. Wait a second. One sec. Do I have access to this spell?
hmm,
I'm a druid. I'm not sure if I have access to heat metal.
you
No.
would.
Oh yeah, druids are totally able to heat metal.
It's mostly for irony, if I remember right. Pun intended.
No, it's actually for punishment because that's one of...
Yep.
Yeah, it is definitely druids use it to burn those who wear metal armor because how dare you? That was the whole point.
Well,
And
drop
bards.
that in. Okay, well, I have it.
Bards
but it's
do
not
it
a
because they're
ritual.
assholes.
Bards do it because they're assholes.
That's actually not wrong. Heat
I
metal
mean,
is
let's-
probably the worst spell in terms of just like, oh my god, horrificness.
Oh yeah, it is the most horrific spell in D&D, but it is by far one of the best spells.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean,
Agreed.
let's be fair here. I took Rune Knight for one of the reasons was because of the fire rune. I can punch someone, activate a rune anywhere on me, and suddenly, oh hey, look, you have burning chains of iron wrapped around your wrist. Have fun with that.
To be truthful, I actually don't. I can't use it because I don't have it selected for today. Because I have Flaming Sphere, Magma Spray, and Scorching Ray instead.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, you could technically use Flaming Sphere to heat metal. It's just a matter of, how close do you want to get.
And how big of a ball of fire do you want to make in the woods?
Oh, it's a small sphere. It's not very big.
Oh,
It's
okay.
5 feet.
It just makes a lot of heat.
Is that
It's the
radius
size of a
or?
person. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty big.
I mean,
It's like
you dig a bit of a pit and you have it so it's just like right at the top of it.
That's not
5 feet
5 feet,
diameter.
Brent.
It takes up a 5-foot square and moves
That's
around
5
and burns
inches.
things.
Yeah, this is a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire.
Take
Yep.
take Brent,
Pretty large.
cut off his head from the neck down is 5 foot.
Also,
Not
it
wrong.
only lasts 1 minute,
Well,
so
again, it does.
that wouldn't really work.
It's just a matter of how hot you can get it and how fast. So
And how many
Yeah.
spell slots I want to waste? So 3 minutes worth of spell slots.
We have a long rest coming up after this, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, after the long rest, I could do heat metals, but until then, you're kind of screwed. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
DM
fine.
says roll initiative.
DM says nothing. DM just said nothing.
DM
Just
got
had to
grin on
laugh about
face,
that.
and we cannot trust grin on face.
Like, I mean, I could have kept doing Firebolt, but guess what? They took rid of my Firebolt, so I only have Starburst from Deep Magic. I was wondering where that was from, but no, Starburst is
Yeah.
from Deep Magic.
It's from Deep Magic, yeah. It's
Which
actually
I
one of their more sane spells.
I also can't view Deep Magic because I don't own the book, so it doesn't let me browse
We'll
the
have to
list.
send you a PDF. Do you have it in the resources tab?
Resources tab.
I was asking, Brent.
There might have been something I had to change due to the game.
I mean, I know we've changed like my ability, but
No. I'm more meaning of the compendium settings. No, you should be able to access Deep Magic.
Oh, it doesn't let me.
It's saying I'm still sharing it.
Yeah, it lets me view the spells, but when it comes to actually looking at the
oh,
books,
he
I
wanted
can
to look
find
at the PDF.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I wanted to look at the PDF so I can look at the Druid class spells because the organization's been really weird with this recently.
Yeah,
It would not let me.
yeah. I don't have the PDF. I don't think.
I mean, you sent me one at some point here because when we were doing the Ice Mage thing.
Oh, wait! I found rules. Druid spells Deep Magic.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
this
that's
is
easy
allowing me to
enough.
access it.
There you go. Huh?
Hmm?
What'd you say, Matt?
Oh, I found the PDF. It's letting me access it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not the PDF. It's a little special table of contents just for Druid spells for Deep Magic.
got
yeah,
it.
it's got Druid spells, Deep Magic, spell list, Paladin spell. It's got a list on here.
All right, good. Anyway, so moving on then. As you guys arrive in the woods to the captive prisoner, Saloon is still there watching him intently. You're pretty sure he hasn't moved? Like, Saloon hasn't moved and is just kind of just...
You do see a few bruises that are oddly hummingbird sized, but that's about it.
I
Roll me
am
a strength
going.
check for Saloon.
Salute. Oh my god.
I kind of feel like it'd feel like being hit with a pool noodle.
We had enough.
That's
hits to leave a
actually
bruise.
really high considering the -4.
So there's like a bruise, and it's like barely there. But you see that Saloon looks like his clothes are definitely ruffled, and what feathers are sticking out are definitely ruffled. But yeah, no, there's like one bruise that's like kind of there. But you imagine it's there because he's like hit the same spot over and over and over and over and over. But that's about all he's managed.
Yeah, when the
Good
party
job, Saloon. We'll
comes
take it from
back,
here.
he looks super pleased with that. And then when Jay's like, "We'll take it from here," he
Good
gives a
job.
nod.
I say good job, Saloon. We'll take it from here.
He gives a nod, and it seems like he's agreeing with a fellow bird brain. But he just merely sits on Rattlegas's shoulder and stares very accusingly at the cultist.
Accusatory bird stare.
Oh yeah, full on interrogation.
So I'm gonna. He still looks unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sit him up against a tree, and then smack him in the face.
You're trying to wake him?
Yep.
Can I roll a medicine check to wake him up?
You could. After Radagast rolls me a strength check to wake him up.
Alright,
I'm
this
not.
doesn't do it.
I mean, I'm just slapping him. I'm not doing it in any particular way. I'm just slapping him.
Whack! Ah!
I pull out my knife and put it harshly enough to draw a little bit of blood on his neck and say, "Scream, and your neck opens."
And he just kind of blinks like rapidly and like looks around, and you see him test his bonds a bit, just trying to figure, mostly trying to take stock of the situation, but he just kind of stares at you wide-eyed.
Now that you've taken stock, no shouting. My friends here are going to ask you some questions. And then I put my knife away, and then I'm going to turn to everybody else and say, "I'll let you get started. I'll be back." And I'm going to go trot around the woods and see if I can spot any tails that may have followed me there.
Other
Roll
than
a
Saloon?
perception check.
That I am going to use my last reroll on.
Might be helpful.
Eh.
So,
Slightly
as
better.
you look around, you're keeping an eye out for any, potential busybodies who may have followed you.
Onlookers. Yep.
As you do so, you keep an eye out, and you don't really see anybody who followed you, but you're keeping an eye out for it.
Could
So-
I, just for the sake of form, do the same on Saloon?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep the 11, so yeah.
No. Okay. So, yeah, you don't see anything either. Oh, Saloon.
Mhm.
But as you guys are left alone, I believe this is Wolfenite, Jay.
And
I
Fearhay.
apologize. Saloon has advantage on perception checks.
Ah, okay.
Just because of the familiar ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, my apologies. So that would have been a 15 if that makes any difference.
No worries. Saloon doesn't see anything that jumps out at him. So
Cool.
nothing crazy. But Jay, Wolfenite, and Fearhay are the ones at this particular meeting. So I'll leave it to the two of you. You have this guy, and he's got his full attention on you, and he's watching you now. He doesn't know what to do, doesn't know what to say. He's just...
I look at Wolfenite. Do you have any starting off questions?
No. Take the lead.
No, take the lead. Is that what you said?
That
Yeah.
is exactly what has been said.
Sorry. Again, Matt for me is a little quiet. I might have to turn him up on Discord.
You probably should, because I think I'm okay, aren't I?
Well,
Am I quiet for everyone?
I've turned you up a bit, but you also turned yourself up a bit, I thought.
No, like I put my mic closer to my mouth, but like
Yeah,
I
you're
turned you
at
up
a
by
pretty.
50%. That's a little better. Now you're about
No.
where
I
most
think
people
you're
are.
fine, yeah, honestly.
okay.
I have a fan going on in the background, so,
Oh, that might be it.
and so it's a little hard to hear everyone. So
No, that might not help anything.
luckily, I have some noise reduction on my headset, so
Yeah, right.
it evens out. So I'll get closer and ask, Where is your caravan's end goal?"
He smiles as he seems to kind of relax a bit. As you don't seem to plan to kill him just yet. But he just Well, we're going north, uh, outside of Waterdeep, closer to to the base of Never, towards Neverwinter, out that way.
Are we talking near? That is quite a stretch, my good sir. Are we talking near the dead, near the Mirror of the Dead Man? South of that? North of that?
I'm pretty sure it's north of that. I'm
Neverwinter Wood? Does that sound familiar to you?
his eyes do go kind of wide at the mention of Neverwinter Wood, and he just shakes his head. No, we're not going there.
Why not?
Well, I hope we're not going there. I don't want to get eaten by some crazy monsters out there. But
So you don't know exactly where you're going?
well, I know we're going to a roadhouse somewhere. I just don't know where.
I'd look back at Wolfenite. I've asked a few. Your turn, friend. And I'd step back and let Wolfenite ask some questions.
The thing is, though, I don't really know what to ask, so that's why I wanted you to go first.
Fear leans in and puts a claw on the man's cheek. Is the black half dragon Resmir with you? To which the man shakes his head. And Fear definitely seems to be annoyed at that response. He then looks to the two of you, and then he then thinks a minute. You said you're going to a roadhouse. The man nods. Where's this roadhouse located? The man seems to think a minute. It's a work camp about it's somewhere between Neverwinter and it's past the Mirror of the Dead Men. I'm pretty sure. Uh, it 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 used it served as a holstery on the road when trade, when it was good. But yeah, we're headed there, kinda. I don't know why. We're just to bring the stuff there. I don't know. We bring them into the compound, one or two at a time. They get unloaded, and then they're moved out. Mm. I don't think these people know much that is useful.
Agreed. At least we know we have a bit more on the road, don't we?
And Thirhay's hand begins to glow with this green necrotic energy. Are there any other pieces of information you'd like to offer up?
The gulp.
Uh, we technically our caravan is going to be hired as part of an envoy out of Waterdeep, I think. Oh. Mm-hmm. Hired by whom? The High Road Charter Company?
Would any of us know what that means?
Jay, you might. Go ahead and roll a history check.
Not my worst skill.
Wolfenite, I'm sad to say you do not.
That's
I rolled
fine.
a nat 1, so no.
Uh, it's a charter company.
There's a lot of them.
I mean, you know what the words individually mean.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure that together they kind of mean a company that does chartering or charters
Yeah.
goods to
But
go
I
from
have
somewhere to
never heard
another.
of this company.
Not this particular company.
But I know there's a few in Waterdeep.
You also, yeah, that's about all you'd really know. Um,
I was like, does that name mean anything to any of us? Was mostly my question.
Wolfenite, not so much.
No.
He's from too far south and never got this far north until now. If anything, Wolfenite is a druid of Green Nest Fields. He's from pretty far south.
Yeah.
But go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and roll me a history check.
Again?
Yeah.
By the way, after looking around for a bit and just kind of keeping an eye on the woods, I would head back to the group.
Okay.
Oh my god, really?
You're feeling a bit forgetful today.
Well, so you do know this, even with a nat one. There's a lord who is rebuilding Neverwinter.
Okay.
You know, you're not quite sure why you remember that right off the top of your head, but it's common knowledge, and it's actually.
But it feels mildly relevant for some reason.
Yeah, it's this nagging feeling in the back of your head, like maybe this, like, okay, I just thought of this, but why am I thinking about it? It's clearly relevant, but how? You're not quite connecting
Yeah.
the dots.
I have like 2 dots and they're nowhere near each other, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck is missing?
Right. But so there is that there is a lord who's rebuilding Neverwinter, and it's a rather famous project. You passed through Neverwinter.
Alright.
You have in your time, and it was very small last you passed through it, but that's also because it was destroyed at one point.
Yeah.
This lord is putting basically his entire fortune into rebuilding it. And one of the problems that you remember hearing as you passed through Neverwinter was specifically that roads were pretty bad. In fact, getting down as far south as you did, you didn't take a road directly from Neverwinter. You actually crossed. You made it to Leylon and then went around to Trillbore, and then down through Westbridge, Redlark.
Oh, the Redlark. Oh, Redlark's a nice town.
Yeah. So you've traveled along that route before in your lifetime, but
Not the sea route.
right. You've never passed the Mere of Deadmen. Though
Alright.
you've heard rumor that there used to be a road there. But if there is, it is so far in disrepair and disuse that nobody uses it anymore.
So we have a shipping company name.
Mhm.
A location that they potentially are headed to, and this might relate somehow to Neverwinter.
Correct. That's all that you're able to parcel out.
Right at the moment.
Yep.
I'm gonna ponder on that.
Okay. Excuse me. You return just in time to kind of see that the conversation has happened.
Okay. I'd approach the group and kind of intentionally, like, not pay attention to the guy at all, and just say to the group, "What information has he given so far?"
Oh, somewhere past the Marsh of the Dead Men, I believe he believes that there's a workhouse?
A roadhouse.
A roadhouse that they are headed to, or nearbys there for their group's purposes.
And he says this is their final destination.
That's what he believes, at the very least.
Hmm.
They're being hired by, what was the company's name?
Give me 1 second. The High Road Charter Company.
The High Road Charter Company is supposed to be hiring them out for something once they reach Waterdeep. And I get this nagging feeling Neverwinter is something to do with this.
Rattlegast, you can roll a history check for the High Road Charter Company.
Bang.
So you've
Probably-
heard of the High Road before. The High Road
Old man
Charter
remembers something.
The High Road Charter Company is well, first of all, it's a charter company. You know that. But you do remember that there was a piece of information about this particular company. The High Road is actually the road that connects Neverwinter, Leylon, and Waterdeep. It curves around the Sword Mountains and hugs the coast between the coast and the Sword Mountains. It wraps around the Mere of Dead Men and leads up through the hills. That is called the High Road. You remember that because that road no longer exists, or at least is not in a state that's fit to travel in, that the High Road Charter Company has publicly thrown in their lot with the Lord who is rebuilding Neverwinter. You remember that Lord's name as Lord Neverember.
Okay.
You also remember that the High Road is a long stretch of road.
Okay.
And there used to be a what's the word? There used to be a pretty big holstery on that road when it was actually a booming trade business, and there was actually trade there. What happened to it since? You have no idea.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my knife and squat next to him. Kind of like squat sort of over him, very, very close, and lock eyes with him. And then I just want to kind of look at him for a while and try and get an idea of his state of mind.
Roll an insight check with advantage because you're going to spend a bit doing this. So he's fucking scared. He's like hoping to God, to whatever gods he believes in. You imagine whatever this dragon god that they may worship or may not, or whatever dragon they're worshiping. You imagine he's praying to that as he's just kind of watching you and like waiting for the blow to happen.
Okay. So he's like at the edge. He's terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I sit there for a while. Does he do anything?
Just kind of stare at you, like completely freaked out.
Okay. Okay. After sitting there for a while, I'm gonna say, "Who is your leader?"
Like the caravan leader or like the leader?
Your local leader.
I think his name is Rayard.
Rayad.
Yeah.
What's his position?
I think he's a dragon claw. He's higher up than me.
Okay.
He gives orders and we just kind of, do what he says because, kind of want to be paid and kind of want, need the work, need the food.
Do you have a family?
Not much of one.
You're answering awfully slow for a man with a family.
Well, I don't know if my parents are still alive or not. I haven't been home in a long time.
Tell me about your leader.
He's kind of weird. He has this medallion on him, and he always talks. Well, since that red guy joined us, he's been kind of talking to him a lot. I don't know what deals they got going on. Kind of don't want him to take all our money, because that would suck. This foreign
Can
guy
he
just taking all our
fight?
money. Oh yeah, he's a capable fighter, I guess.
In what manner does he fight?
He's got a sword.
Is he exclusively a swordsman?
I mean, I've seen him hit people in the face, in bar fights.
Okay. I am going to let's see. Oh, I want to do an insight check to see how truthful I feel like he's being.
Go ahead.
Okay.
He's being pretty truthful, considering the fact that he really has no reason to lie to you. And you're threatening him, so he's being as honest as possible.
Okay. I'm gonna look back at the group. Does anyone have any questions for him?
In humble response, you see Saloon stare at him, give him a good thwack.
Ow.
Yeah, just a small thwack. And then he just looks back at you, with an expectation, but you don't know what the expectation means.
Okay.
And
I
you
nod.
see one more little detail.
Mhm.
A bit of that starlit possession that Celine has.
I nod at Saloon. Anyone else?
Jay and Wolfenite.
Give me a second, I need to think. I might have something else, but where they were headed was really important.
Yeah.
We asked them what they were transporting, right?
No.
Oh, in that case, you guys said you had some sort of goods you had to transport. What are
Yeah.
they?
The loot from the raids, mostly. I don't know what's all in the crates. Just the ones that broke open, and the ones that I was there for. But we brought all the loot and loaded it up in these carts, and carried it off. The people behind, down south were supposed to keep whatever was left. I don't know. I've been here with these guys a long while.
There's 3 carts that are defended with additional security. Why?
No, I don't know. I don't get to guard those carts.
I stab his leg.
Ah!
Okay.
Yeah, you stab him. He can't run away from
No.
you. Can't avoid it.
Why?
I'm not well liked, okay?
I stab his leg again.
And he tries so hard not to scream out, but it's gargling groan.
I put my hand over his mouth for a second again. And then remove it. Why?
Me and some of the others got in a fight the other night, and it pissed off the boss pretty bad. So we're all in the doghouse. Ow, my fucking leg!
You must have heard some whisper at some time. Some inkling why they're defended.
I heard one of them has gold and shit.
That's one.
The other two is we think it's maybe more gold, but nobody said anything. Only the boss knows, and he doesn't talk to nobody except the red cultist guy or the dragon lady when we saw her back forever ago.
When?
Back at Baldur's Gate? It's been months. Or, well, nearly.
I turn back to the group. Anything else?
The guy's just looking at his leg, doing like the Ace Ventura silent.
No,
In like
I'm good.
excruciating pain.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's it.
Thierry nods. Oh, then we can put an end to this then.
Yeah, I turn and cover his mouth and stab him in the heart.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
So that's a thing.
Sorry. It's my character.
No,
Oh. I fully believe that. It's just my character's definitely. Holy shit.
yeah. Well, this is the first time we've seen Rattlegas actually do the thing we all suspect him of.
Yeah,
Yep.
so, Jay and Wolfenite.
Yeah.
How do you feel seeing this side of Rattlegast?
I'm uncomfortable. It's one thing fighting someone and they die. It's a different thing when you kill them when they're captured. I'm not the biggest fan of torture.
Hey, at
I
least we
don't-
didn't use the superheated syringe. That was my idea.
I was just gonna heal them after they were done torturing them.
Are you saying that in character?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's in character.
Yeah, that's in character. I was just
He
You just
knew
need
all
my
of our
entire head
faces.
tilt to like Wolfenite. You're weak of soul and mind sometimes, but strong with fire, friend. I pat him. Rattlegas, when you return to camp, do you need help cleaning this up? I belatedly realize, oh yeah, there's a body here.
No, I'm okay. I can dig a hole.
Why dig
What's
a
that?
hole? Says Thierry as he just kind of smirks.
If you have a way of disposing of it, then fine. Just don't make a mess and don't leave any traces.
Smile.
I mean, I have a way of getting rid of the body, so it's not a body.
Do as you please, then, as long as it doesn't lead back to us.
Corpse explosion.
No, that would create a mess.
It's
And
not like we
Wolfenite.
have multiple skeletons and bodies in a certain area already.
I can just bury it and then grow the earth over it.
Oh no, I'm already doing the thing.
Of course you are.
But no, he definitely just fucking raises dead on this bitch. And just, you now have a zombie.
We'll look at Thierry. Please change his attire.
But
Oh,
before
of
I forget,
course.
how many skeletons, how many zombies, and I think we had like what, one ghoul?
One or two, I can't remember.
I think it was one.
I think we
I'm
had like
gonna
one
look
ghoul
at
and two skeletons before.
yeah.
Yeah, one ghoul, two skeletons. Or
And
actually,
now
I
a
think it's
zombie.
up to 4.
We're up to 4 skeletons and now a zombie.
Yeah.
We'll let White figure that out later.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, since we've been keeping them in my carriage, I'm keeping track on my sheet.
I
Fair
look
enough.
at Rattlegast. So, any of that information mean anything to you? Because you haven't let us know about the connection between Waterdeep and the High Road Company quite yet.
It tells me that they're keeping a tight lid on their information. Their hierarchy is well maintained. He told us everything he knew. I'm not so certain about the company. I'm curious if that's a cover for some other purpose of theirs. I don't know.
What's its connection? Do you have an idea what its connection to Neverwinter is?
Brent, I feel like you told me that, and then I instantly forgot it.
Yeah, you did because I imagine you forget most of the things I tell you when I tell you them. I imagine, much like my parents and pretty much almost everybody, it's just in one ear, not the other.
No, it's not.
So no, I'm giving you shit. Uh,
Okay.
so the High Road Charter Company is a company dedicated to helping Lord Neverember, basically the financier of the restoration of Neverwinter, in
Hmm.
to recreate the city. In order to do that, the most important thing is to reestablish the high road connecting Neverwinter to Waterdeep,
Okay.
and
I
that
say
is their stated purpose.
that. I say that.
Yep.
And then say, I assume that this means there must be some connection between the cult and Neverwinter.
Unfortunately. More north we go, I suppose.
Yes, I think if the opportunity arises, acquiring another guest of higher authority might assist us.
Agreed.
If you happen upon an opportunity, we should
Seize it.
act. Yes. Yes.
Rattlegast,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you something
Yeah.
as a DM to everyone else. Everyone else, go ahead and mute or deafen yourselves, please.
Oh,
Okay.
working
One sec.
on that. How do you? Oh, I see.
Thank you. Rattlegast,
Yep.
how do you feel personally,
Hmm.
having just murdered this man, bound at your mercy entirely, murdered him basically in cold blood?
Yep.
How does Rattlegast feel?
No feeling. That was the optimum thing to do. The only thing that he thought about was that he didn't want Celine to see that side of him.
Now, a more important question is there a moral conundrum going through Radagast's mind, or is this just another job, another part of his life, and another
I
thing he
think
has to do?
I think at this exact moment, the only thought was, uh, this is the only option because there isn't a scenario where this guy can live and there isn't some kind of jeopardy that's put on the team. So in this exact moment, no, I don't think so. But I think that uh, once like more context is added to the scenario and um, other like perspectives
Mm-hmm.
are kind of observed, that it might become more of a moral thing. But in this exact moment, no feeling.
Got it. Then in that case, there is no change much to your demeanor. There's no change to your alignment, and you are pretty normal. This is just another thing. Life is ugly, and you know that, especially in your line of work. Uh, but it's just another job for you at this point. All right, with that in mind, I think we're good to go. Hopefully, they'll understand that. Well, one of them, two of them.
We're getting there.
I'm legit tempted to actually bring the ingredients to make lambus bread some night to D&D night.
That sounds amazing.
I mean, it's not a hard set of ingredients.
Really isn't.
Do the other two just not want to join us?
No, they're like,
I don't. They weren't looking at the chat for Roll20, and they were waiting for it in Discord.
Yeah, well, they should look at Roll20.
The miming
I
worked.
kind of like
No,
hyper-focus
it
on
was just
everything
taking a
'cause, you know,
moment.
ADHD brain go burr.
I was actually expecting it in Discord, but yeah, I seen it. Anyway, we got it.
Yep.
I be here.
Anyway, so,
I also accidentally hit mute on my headset because I'm an idiot.
well,
Nice.
um,
I don't agree with the idiot part, but nice.
so, you guys now return to the caravan with one more zombie who's been stripped of any evidence of being a cultist. Though the clothes he has are more or less the same. The most of the outfit's been pretty changed up. And because the kill was clean and all that Thierhay really had to do was replace a shirt and not a throat, depending on, the nastiness of some injuries. No, you've dressed up a body pretty well for him, all things considered. He doesn't really have to hide much. And being that this guy is fresh dead, the zombie isn't rotting, isn't smelling. He's just kind of dumb.
Well, seeing the zombie come back, you'll get Serial raise an eyebrow, then just nod his head towards the back towards the. Wow, I'm tired of forgetting the word carriage.
Thierhay nods and directs his new minion. And he goes and just crawls down and lays in the wagon.
In the meantime, what should I be querying my smith's tools for to make her a set of cooking utensils?
Mostly you're so go ahead and query me a wisdom check first, or a wisdom for smith's tools.
I'm gonna say you have guidance too, if it helps, because Celine's right there.
P4.
So yeah.
There we go.
So with a 20, you know how to make utensils. Most of which being the various different types of spoons, a couple of different types of forks, mostly a various bit of tongs, knives, a spatula or two. Some of these things are made out of wood, though. So if you imagine there's a reason for it in the cooking utensils you've seen, but the metal parts you could theoretically make. It's just a matter of having a forge that you could dedicate to the purpose.
Which will be at Waterdeep soon.
Yes, that is true. As you guys, but you are able to kind of like sketch and plan out exactly what you would do. You're able to like draw the outline of a spoon on a piece of the scrap metal.
With Celine making her little decoration choices she wants on.
Oh, of course.
Oh, correct. You get the feeling that you might not be able to get as intricate as she wants, but you'll definitely, do your best.
Yeah, she's been super happy about the syrup container, which has gotten a lot of use.
Surprising.
Even in sessions you haven't been here, Serial, yeah, it's gotten use.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Selena's happy as can be with this thing.
But, so, with that, the 4 who went off into the woods are now 5. As the zombie goes and lays in the back of the wagon.
We made a friend, it's fine.
That's the first thing you say to Celine. She's like, oh my god, I wanna... And you see Saloon like come out of nowhere and just bop her really hard upside the head.
Oh.
It's hard enough that she goes down to her knees and she's like, Saloon. Oh, I thought we were friends. And you just see him shaking his head back and forth over and over and over.
Like, no.
Yeah, it's very much he clearly isn't doesn't want you to be involved with whatever this is, Celine.
Yeah. She's mostly concerned that she just got bopped pretty hard by a hummingbird. I've had the RIL experience with that
It
on one occasion on a hike.
It is not a pleasant feeling, but
It is rather unnerving, mostly for the sound.
Yep.
But anyway, so she goes down and just kind of is arguing with Saloon, who is doing his best to distract her by just being an aggressive dick. So like every time she's like, "But I want to," whap.
Wop.
Abusive hummingbird mode, go.
Yeah, he has gone full on
Abusive
abusive hummingbird.
Whenever, as everyone's sitting back down or getting ready, I'm going to grab Rattlegast by the wrist and ask him, did we get the answers to the questions we were asking, while putting a rune on the sleeve of his shirt where it's clearly visible to him, the rune of sky?
Would I understand anything? Would I understand that magic at all?
roll an Arcana check or Arcana check.
Arcana.
You understand it's runes, and they look to be the rune magic of dwarves or giants. You're not entirely sure. Orcish shares a written language with both. Shares a written language with dwarves, and giant also has a written language that's similar. Different enough to be harder to read. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head. Let me double check that.
Okay. I would say well, we got answers to the questions that we asked. I don't know if we got all the information we wanted exactly, but we have a rough idea of their purpose and destination, and a few other bits and bobs.
So yes, you do know that giant, dwarvish, gnomish, even goblin, as well as orcish, are all using the dwarf alphabet. So the script is not unfamiliar to you. You also know
But
that
I don't know what it says.
right. You're not 100% sure what it says. Because while the script is the same, it's kind of like the difference between Cantonese and Mandarin written out. The characters are the same, but the actual I can't remember the specific word they do that, the specific phrase, but like the English, but like when using Latin as the translating language to break the symbols down, it doesn't quite work.
Okay.
The hiragana, it's the difference between hiragana and katakana in Japanese. And writing it out in Romanji versus
Spanish
characters.
and English.
It'd be more like Spanish and Italian.
Like, they're similar. Kinda.
And there's lots of words that cross over and mean the same, but there's enough differences that it's slightly complex.
It's like,
I gotcha.
Italian, French, Latin, Spanish.
I speak no language proficiently, including English.
I mean, sarcasm counts.
Care to explain why you're writing some kind of giant dwarvish gibberish on my arm?
Well, I feel like you, of all people, can appreciate what the magic of this rune will give you. While this rune is on your clothing, you'll find that the magic of the cloud giants is with you. The fog will bend to your hand if you try to discreetly pocket something, and you'll find the will of minds to your deceptive words a bit easier. And if you should need, you can use this rune to change someone's target. You remember the whip and the horse?
I do indeed.
That is what I did.
Well, I apologize. I think I've spoken quite rudely. I appreciate it.
And with that, I'll nod and I'll tap myself on the chest, putting the fire rune on my chest plate. It's what I do on a day-to-day basis.
The cloud rune. So cool.
Thierry just kind of looks at you all. If we're quite done. The information
Always, sweetheart.
The information we got is that their final destination is not Waterdeep. They are headed north still, towards Neverwinter. I imagine they are going to accompany this high road charter company in a caravan up towards Neverwinter, or at least up to this roadhouse.
Yes. It would appear so.
I don't think they'll stay in Waterdeep for long. I imagine if they stop for more than a day, it would be a surprise. We might need to think about getting ourselves hired on as caravan guards for that as well. Though that would put us in fairly direct proximity with them.
Agreed. We'll have to look for options in Waterdeep and be fast about it.
Fast is not really my specialty.
Well, thankfully, it's mine.
Good. I am getting some sleep. He walks into the carriage with Acrony, which him and Von Ram seem to be like sleeping in with Acrony, for whatever reason. But the other two workers are already asleep.
I think that I'll retire as well.
Anyone else have anything crazy to do in the night?
No.
I
I'm gonna
have
go water some flowers.
actually one crazy thing. Matt, go ahead.
I'm just watering my flowers. I'm good.
Aw.
Druid's
Actually,
got a druid, yo.
I'll use you for this, Matt.
Oh, okay. I don't like the phrasing of that, but okay.
I do.
Of course you would, DM. It's always better when you're the DM watching it from third person.
So, Celine is doing her usual ritual. She's talking to the stars, telling them about her day. You know, everything's going to be okay, and I'm glad you're looking out for me.
Yeah.
Saloon, however, is hanging out by your flowers as you're watering them. And you see Saloon's beak open slightly, cracking open in a kind of horrific way, as you see the star-bound eyes that Celine usually has. So, Druid, are you any closer to discovering this dragon cult?
What do you mean discovering?
I mean, are you going to do anything?
Oh, of course we're gonna try to do something. We gotta find out how big they are first. Seems like they're getting bigger. We don't know where their full base is yet. But
With all the power of fire at your disposal, it seems as if you would. And she merely motions over to the dragon cultist caravan. Saloon's face is completely disoriented. You've never seen the hummingbird just completely foggy-headed is the best way you would describe it.
yeah. Well, if I burn down their carriages, there's risk that we'll burn down ours as well, and also bad contract.
And yet there's so much evil afoot, and you care about a mere contract?
I already tried messing with the carriages, and that one wizard got in the way.
Then try again. For the girl's sake.
Wait, what does that mean? What do you mean by
it's
that?
at that point that Saloon shuts his beak and flies off.
Mm,
The gods want you to burn their carts down, man.
okay.
For Celine's sake is what that meant. If that
at
like,
least a
Quiet.
got.
okay, I'll shut up.
Mm,
That's for Wolfenite in character to fit together.
Reason
if he's,
through, yeah.
if he
Ponder.
can.
I know. No, that's the thing. Is there literally a coin I can flip?
Yeah, it's called a D20. Go ahead and roll an intelligence
Yeah,
check.
yeah, 10 and lower and 11 and up. Technically it's a D100, but
So do you want me to just roll a straight D20 or
Yeah,
roll an intelligence?
roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
It's you've seen Baron do it enough.
Nope. He's dumb.
Yeah, he's
He
like,
dumb boy.
what does that mean? Come on!
What girl?
What girl? What's
Many
gonna happen?
females.
Well, to be
Yeah.
fair, in all fairness, Wolfenite has had a lot of females. He had Dermy, he had She of Water and Earth, and now he has Celine. So there are at least 2 options for living girls.
And then 2 of them are literally involved. And 2 of them are literally involved. With Saloon. There's Celine, and then there's She of Water of Earth.
That is correct. So,
and only one of them is here.
well,
true, but this is
again,
celestial being. My character's dumb right now.
Fair enough.
you know, but
Willful ignorance is sometimes good as somebody who plays Call of Cthulhu or happens to run a game.
I was gonna say, do I roll a d20 to see if I should burn everything down or not?
that's more.
That's more of a moral decision.
Yeah, that's more of a moral decision for you.
Well, that's the thing. To me, this is kind of a morally gray area because one, Saloon is right that it is literally filled with evil cultists. It is literally the people we normally fight right next to us. The only problem is everyone that could be effective is innocent.
They also haven't technically attacked you.
I mean, we believe they've tried.
Sure, you believe they've tried, but no one's outright attacked you. What you do know is that the Red Wizard dispelled your magic because you were trying to mess with them. He didn't retaliate or attempt anything else, just dispelled what was happening to the card.
Brent, I was about to go off on you. I'm like, Brent, this isn't America. That's not how that works. because I'm like, they literally put poisoned bone peas into our food. That's close enough to
If that's your
silently-
in-character reasoning, Matt,
that is silently enough saying we're going to war. It's just I didn't want to do anything yet.
Fair enough. Well, what is it that Wolfenite wants to do?
You know what? I'll do something in the morning. I don't even have the spells that I want to use right now for this.
Fair enough.
So, Brant,
Mhm.
because it's in the morning, Celine will have to take a consequence for that.
Yes, she will. And she does.
Oh, god damn it. God fucking damn it.
Roll me
Damn
a
you,
D-
Saloon.
Roll me a D100.
It's not even Saloon at this point.
No, fuck you.
D100.
Fuck the god thing.
Fuck the stars.
Yeah, fuck the star being that fucking possesses you.
Okay. Got it. Celine,
Mm-hmm.
as you look up into the sky, you actually fall asleep looking up into the sky.
Oh, wow, that never happens.
Correct. As you do, however, you wander through a hazy gray mist. And then off to your left, you see a scene. It's of a family, a loving mother, a loving father, and a little girl but you can't see any of their faces and you can barely make out that they're there, but you know exactly, you have this nagging feeling in your head who they are. And yet you can't articulate it, you can't name them, and then they're gone. To your right is a little hummingbird that was it you? It could have been you. Maybe it was someone else you saw cupping this little hummingbird with stars in its eyes. But no, that can't be right. You keep going through these hazy moments in time, and you're not sure if they're moments you've seen, you've heard of, or you've experienced. Your whole night is spent reliving these hazy images or after images of these moments in time, to which all of that is brought to an abrupt end as the night wanes on and comes to day. As day, as night gives way to day, the entire camp is roused by the cry of murder! And that is where we'll pick up next time.
Wait, what?
Murder.
Oh no.
Oh
Waiter.
snap!
God damn it. I'm being held. God damn it. I feel like I'm gonna be mentally forced into a hostage situation for the fucking god. It's like, do what I say or I hurt her.
Well,
Fear the moiterer.
Yeah,
it's a moida.
that's your call on what's gonna happen.
Well,
But
that's the thing. Wolfenite's dumb right now. He can't think that.
oh yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have done something if I could put that together.
It'll be more and more horrific when he does eventually put it together.
God damn it. I wish I could.
Awesome.
Well, I'm gonna go prep the spells I'm gonna go use for next time, like, Legion of Rabid Squirrels. Or maybe Herdrin's Birds of Clay or something. Ooh, Dryad's Kiss. I'll use that. There we go. That's good. Get rid of Elemental Weapon. Give me Erupting Earth and Dryad's Kiss. I think that should be good.
Well, anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. We are going to wrap up a little early because I think that's a perfect story point to end on. Just a bit of housekeeping before we go. Every single one of you gets 1,200 experience points.
Cool. I think Saloon levels up.
Saloon?
How many?
I was.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
What's our
We
level
did
up
give him
marker?
90, or we did give him 50 XP at one point.
Oh, yeah.
What is our level up marker? Yeah, that's a good question.
Let's see. You're level 5 right now, going into level 6.
Yeah, I have 9,755 EXP.
14,000.
Yeah, your next level up is like 14,000.
And
Oh,
you
yeah.
said that was 1,200 we get there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got 1,200. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I got 8,926.
I keep forgetting that I'm actually ahead of everyone else in experience points.
You've been here since the beginning, and I think all of us have been added in later.
Well, it was
except
also that
Wolfenite.
I feel
it
less
was
things.
it was actually mostly because of roleplay in the beginning and dragon stuff.
Yeah, you actually dealt with that.
Because I'm currently at almost 11,000.
But again, that is the part of XP level up. Is not everyone levels up at the same time.
Yeah.
Which, back when we first started this game, that was the agreed to system. So,
Yeah,
you know.
things were going to be rewarded sometimes.
Yeah,
It's just, I legitimately keep forgetting that.
And I will say this, is that Rattlegast and Celine definitely get an extra 200 experience points for the brilliant roleplay that's been happening. Between Jay, you get an additional 150 for your brilliant roleplay that's been going on while you've been here.
Thank you.
And Wolfenite, you earn a solid 100 bonus XP for yours. Fearhay is going to also earn a solid 100. Mason, you're going to earn 50 bonus XP because you've had some good moments. There's just not been a whole lot of great ones.
Oh, yeah, I
that
understand.
have really stuck out. Um, and I'd award Von Ram XP, but he's not a fucking player character for that fucking fantastic show of teamwork at the fucking bar fight. But
Yep.
So
but no.
Saloon has 250 XP. Good Saloon.
Good Saloon. But anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. I love doing this. This is always the highlight of my week. Is this stream, hanging out with my friends, and getting to play this amazing game, and getting to play it and show all you amazing people just the kind of fun that you can have at a table with a tabletop RPG and some good quality friends. And I wouldn't trade these days for anything. No matter what happens in the future, I will endeavor to make sure that this stream stays going. If I go to working day shift, it'll be even easier. Even if I don't get the days off, I'll just make sure that I get the time off. Granted, it might be pushed back an hour, or whatever the case may be, but I will endeavor to make sure that this stream continues. Because I enjoy it. I enjoy spending time with, this amazing cast of characters for both Wednesday streams, Seas of Vodari and Tyranny of Dragons. They, I am still going to aim to put more games up where I'm running them professionally as a dungeon master. With some things being kind of up in the air right now, though, there may be big schedule changes coming up. And so I'm not going to put up any more looking for groups until after that change has happened. But for those of you who have signed up or shared with your friends and family, who are interested in D&D, that I'm a professional DM looking for players, thank you so much. Both my Friday games are full. My Tuesday morning game, Seas of Vodari, the second Seas of Vodari, is full. I am not going to be streaming those, mostly because I want my first couple attempts at, professional DMing to be private for my players more than anything. Definitely, though, I am probably going to stream some in the future, if my players are okay with it, of course. I am going to still be streaming the Game of Thrones game on Saturday morning for as long until basically schedule changes happen. So when they happen, then I will stop streaming that game if I have to. If I don't, then I'll just continue streaming it. But all in all, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. It is really due to this stream and the streams that I have, and just the fact that I'm DMing a lot more for all these amazing players. That has really driven me to put my hat in the ring as a professional. And so I hope you guys have liked what you've seen. We're at 28 episodes. We're more than halfway to 50. And we're about halfway through the first half of Tyranny of Dragons. Tyranny of Dragons is one of the longer ones. It is some of them are 17 chapters, but Tyranny of Dragons can take you all the way to level 20. Which, I mean, I imagine you might have to if you have to fight Tiamat. But the next stream we do will be another D&D module, because I want to run all the modules, and I want to put them out there for everyone. I don't know which module specifically. I will leave it up to these amazing players when we get there. I will have something special planned for our 50th episode. Seas of Vodari is still going on, and with the Under the Seas of Vodari book coming out next year, or very late this year, for those of you who paid for the early access, I will be adding in its contents as I can. I'm looking forward to seeing what those characters come up with, and I'm looking forward to seeing how both of these stories are going to conclude, because even I don't know. I know how it could end. I mean, but they could die by dragon cultists next episode, because somebody just got moited. But anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. I have been your Dungeon Master today, but I will kick us off and have us exit with these fantastic people. So immediately to my left is David, my Bruda, playing Rattlegast, our orc, and now I can officially say his actual class, Assassin.
Acceptable losses.
Oh no.
Directly underneath him is Mr. Eric, who we're always happy to have, playing Jay, our human way of mercy monk.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with Rattlegast. Acceptable losses.
Immediately beneath me is Mr. Matt, playing Wolfenite, our Earth Genasi wildfire druid.
I'm so conflicted as a character right now.
It's
Things
my
are really,
job.
really getting fucked, and I'm not gonna deal with this well at first. Probably at first, I might have some issues.
Fair enough. To my immediate right is, of course, Mr. Mason, playing Serial, our wood elf rune knight.
Another corpse to the pile, soon some cutlery tools to be made. Let's see if they go into someone's eye.
White Hill could not be here today, but I hope I did his character Thierry justice playing him this evening. He is, of course, our Tortle Death Domain cleric. And last but certainly not least is the ever lovely Callie Cat playing Celine the Stargazer, and in this particular episode, Saloon, Lord of the Storm.
And sadly, I didn't get to play either because I'm mostly playing the possession aspect, in which, Matt, do what you can, or the girl will suffer.
You motherfucker!
It's all on you, Wolfenite.
I swear to God,
Oh God, no!
dark
I hope you
session.
do something because I really want you to have a full-on conversation with this god.
I know, and you're gonna make me do something.
No one's
That's
I'm
what-
not
making
gonna
you
make you do
He
anything.
made
Oh no,
nobody do
no! You
nothing.
morally gonna make me have to do
Well,
something.
yeah. I wouldn't be this like evil star god that manipulated a little girl to sacrifice everything if I wasn't, manipulating the party as well.
No.
Also, to all of you who are concerned about the unspoken rule of no two DMs at the table, Callie and I have gone over this character concept extensively, and nothing she does is without my express permission, and I, of course, step in when it is appropriate. But no, Callie is doing exactly what me and her have discussed with this character, and I am loving watching everyone's reaction.
You're a monster, and I love it. But you're a monster.
You know what?
Great.
I didn't come up with Celine. I simply allowed it to happen.
You just endorsed it,
Like Walt
Mhm.
Disney.
Oh yeah,
God damn it.
I signed my name at the bottom, but I didn't come up with the idea.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is still the same character. This is purely an aspect of a familiar. There's nothing outside of a character role.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, this is
Um,
purely an in-character thing. It's not it's just me role-playing the aspect of being a warlock, which almost nobody does these days.
Well, most
Yep.
players don't, and
Yeah.
sadly, most DMs lack the skill. And it's hard, especially when you have to devote that much in-character time to a single character.
Oh yeah.
But
sure.
in all fairness, Celine's patron is a lot more hands-on than most.
Yep.
Um,
And I do want to make her more complex in the upcoming sessions.
mean-
Right now, she's just the bad guy.
I mean, Mr. Mason remembers a certain tiefling who had a slightly hands-off patron, but at least one that made him, embrace the pact a little bit.
I still want us to find some way for him to come back.
Someone's still looking for you. I mean,
Yeah, there's at least one person. There's at least one or two people still actually looking for his sorry purple potato loving ass.
yeah,
I'm
What, Byrosh?
Yes,
Flint.
Byrosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flint and
Oh yeah, I just love the thought of how he would come back, like how different he could be.
I mean, Celine's raised in
I've
or not
already written
Celine,
it.
but
Don't
Abigail's right. Or God damn it, I can't remember her name.
Allison.
Allison, thank you. Has raised an army to do it, so
Oh yeah, no, I've already written it, so it's already there. It's just a matter of I gotta work up the inspiration to write more for that particular setting. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching Tyranny of Dragons. I have been your Master of Dungeons, Dr. John Wolfenstein. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always, especially to roleplay with these fine, amazing players. And I can't wait to see what happens next time. And we will see you next time on Tyranny of Dragons. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Sayonara.